Hi, my name is Michelle and welcome to my channel. And so primarily this is a tarot channel. I am starting to incorporate more astrology readings. So this is the third time that I'm doing a 2-week forecast based on what is happening out in the world. What is happening with all the planets, the astrology, how does it impact you specifically? So I am going to go into what this energy is from an overall standpoint, and then what does it mean by zodiac signs. So the things that are really important here, so sun sign is going to be important. Your rising sign is actually going to be more important. I do have in the description box below a way to go and identify what is your rising sign. And then also your moon sign. The moon is really more about how you internalize things. So just how you perceive things through that emotional lens. So that's just something to keep in mind here. So this forecast is going to be April 5th through April 18th. And we do have the full moon in Libra, so that's what this is all about. This is really kind of focused on that full moon in Libra that takes place on April 6th at 12:34 a.m. So it's just after midnight, and it'll take us to a solar eclipse in Aries. So I'm going to jump right into the overview here. I am putting chapters so that you can kind of listen to the overview, because it is going to talk about these overarching energies and then be able to look at your different signs. So kind of jumping right in. On April 5th, so this is leading right up to that full moon in Libra on April 6th. We do have Mercury is in the sign of Taurus. And let me just stop right there. So Mercury in Taurus, what is it? So Mercury is communication. How do we process information? And we have Taurus, it's a very grounded, it's an earth sign, it's very stable, reliable. So this is about that kind of calm, deliberate communication, or just a way of processing information. It's sextile Saturn in Pisces. And so Saturn in Pisces, I've talked about this before, but this is Pisces being that mysticism and just kind of, if you think about like your dreams and then Saturn there, it's like you have to work for what it is that you're looking for and what it is that you want. So this would be something that is very contemplative, very purposeful, a very grounding type of energy. And so combining the two energies together, so Mercury and Taurus, Saturn in Pisces, we're looking at some clear thinking, good judgment, organization skills. But this is a sextile, so this does mean that the opportunity will present itself, and then it's going to be up to you as to what you do with this energy. At the same time, we also have the Sun in Aries conjunct Chiron in Aries. And so what does that mean? So Sun is all about, okay, how do we illuminate this? What are we trying to bring to light here? And conjunct Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is what needs to be healed in this lifetime. And so Chiron in Aries is really going to be more focused on yourself. And this is an opportunity. This is a way for things to come to light about like anything about yourself that needs to heal. So this could be any kind of past pain, insecurities, maybe feeling like unworthy of something. That would be some of this energy that would be kind of coming up right around the full moon. This is actually going to lead us right into the full moon. And so I do want to say one more thing about Chiron and Aries here is pay attention to what's coming up, because when you get to the full moon, so the full moon is all about releasing and kind of taking a step back. If you think about like those bell curves, so you have the new moon, it's a new beginning, you're starting a new chapter, you're setting your intentions. Okay, what do I want to happen over the next month or 6 months, a year, whatever it is. And then what you're doing is you're kind of working towards that goal. And so as you start to climb that bell curve, now we're sitting at the full moon at the top, and it's going to say, okay, you've tried all these different paths, you've attempted these different strategies. What's not working for you anymore? And that's what the full moon is here to show you. The full moon is here to kind of highlight what is it that you don't need, maybe what strategy didn't work, and so that you can kind of remove it. It's kind of almost a distraction that you just need to release so that you can continue on your journey and actually get to your end goal. And so this could be something with the full moon in Libra, whatever it is that you're trying to release. This is something that kind of, it's holding you back in some sort of way. It has you feeling imbalanced in a specific area of your life. This could even relate back to, if you can remember what was happening around September 25th, 2022. So that was when we had the new moon in Libra, and now we're at the full moon in Libra. And so this could have been something that started way back then, and it most likely was. So if you think about what was happening during that time period, what is it that you need to release that just isn't working for you anymore? And so just really keep that in mind, because all of these energies are going to work together. So Chiron in Aries. So is there something that maybe happened back then that you now need to release, kind of tied to your sense of self-worth, insecurities, any kind of past pain? now's the time. Right after we have the full moon in Libra, we actually have Venus in Taurus, sextile Neptune in Pisces. So some of that might sound a little familiar because we had Mercury in Taurus doing the same thing the day before the full moon. And now we have Venus doing it the day after the full moon. And so what's going to happen here is there's going to be this emphasis on passion, romance, and sensuality, because Venus is beauty, it's love, it's relationships. It's actually the ruler of Libra. And so this energy is going to be kind of really focused here at the time. So you're releasing something, kind of allow more of this type of energy into your life. What is it that you truly value? What is it that you love? Again, from an opportunity standpoint, this is going to require some action on your part. It's not just going to happen automatically, but you are going to be open to receiving more affection. So if you think about Chiron and Aries, something tied to your self-worth, letting go of your self-worth to allow yourself to be open to romance and affection. Then we move into Mercury in Taurus, sextiles Mars in Cancer. And so Mercury in Taurus. So again, this is that stable communication, this way of processing information that's very grounded, very practical. And we've got Mars in Cancer here. And so Mars in Cancer, your emotions, how do you feel? That's what Cancer is a very nurturing type of energy. Think of it as like a mothering type of energy. And so what is it that you're trying to do here? What are you trying to communicate? More about your feelings. Maybe you're finally getting to a point of just releasing what made you feel unworthy, and it's going to open yourself up to allow yourself to be more open about what you want. It's that vulnerability that sometimes we all fear, but it allows yourself to be open. So this is really going to be a great time to express how you feel about a situation, about a person. Libra is all about harmony and balance, and so relationships are definitely highlighted here, but if there's other areas of your life where this needs some sort of healing and some sort of growth, this is going to be the opportunity. And then on the 11th, we have Venus entering Gemini, and it will stay there until May 7th. So Venus in Gemini, so Venus, beauty, the things that you value, love, relationships. Gemini's great with details, and so this would make you very talkative, very flirty, curious, a social butterfly. And so the energy here, it's all kind of, let's release what's not working. Let's kind of talk through what it is that we're looking for, and now be open to trying something new. And just all this energy is really taking you into a place of just being more open and more authentic to yourself. And so there's an opportunity here to be very spontaneous. At the same time, we also have Venus in Gemini. So we just talked about that, but it's going to be trying Pluto in Aquarius. And so what this is going to do, you're going to be flirty. You're going to be kind of just very outgoing when it comes to that type of situation. But you can now add depth and intensity to your feelings regarding anything that you love, anything that you're passionate about. This could be a person, this could be a relationship, anything that brings you joy and satisfaction. If you are looking for romance, this would be a great time to meet someone, and that could turn into some sort of long-term relationship if that's what you're looking for. We also have, there's a lot of energy happening in these 2 weeks. So we have the Sun in Aries conjunct Jupiter in Aries. So now we're at the point where, okay, we're open, we're flirty, we've kind of let go of past insecurities. We're kind of just that bubbly personality, getting to know people. Jupiter is all about expansion. And so here, expansion, optimism, generosity, it's good luck, it's fortune. So this is the perfect time to allow yourself to start something new. And so I know I said before about new moons, that's really the time to set your intentions, begin something new. Full moon, great time to release. But you never just have a chapter close without one opening. And so by removing whatever was holding you back during the full moon, now you're opening yourself up to try a different way, try something new here. And that's what this is. And the energy here is Jupiter says, what do you want? Sky's the limit. I will enhance and I will grow this area of your life. Towards the end of this window on the 14th, we have Venus in Gemini square Saturn in Pisces. So this could be just kind of a rough patch that's going to hit where maybe there might be some stress in your love life. This would be something like maybe delays or some sort of distance that's temporary or some other problem that could kind of create a little bit of friction. But this is something that can be overcome. You just have to put in the effort. Maybe you just have to drive a little bit further, or you have to kind of accommodate and maybe not see the person for a long period of time. Maybe you have to shorten the window. This would be the type of thing that you could overcome. If you do find yourself feeling lonely during this time, this is going to pass quickly. This is not an energy that's going to stick around. And so with Saturn in Pisces, Saturn, it's all about responsibility. So just make sure that you are attending to whatever it is that you have responsibilities. And so that could be, if you kind of connect the dots a little bit, that could be some of the cause of your delays. Like if you are in an instance where you need to drive to meet the person that you're dating, but maybe you get stuck at work and you have to delay that like an hour or two. That would be this type of situation. And so the energy is a very positive energy that's kind of taking you out of any kind of insecurities, moving you into just a warmer, happier, healthier headspace when it comes to relationships and romance. And so now I'm going to get into each sign. So for Aries and Aries rising, this Libra full moon is going to impact your 7th house. So this is your one-to-one relationships. If you've been feeling out of balance in some sort of way, in some sort of connection with another person, now this could be romance, this could be a business partnership, anything else, take a look at what's not working here. That's what you need to release. There's something here that just is no longer working. Let it go. When Venus moves into Gemini on the 11th, this is going to impact your 3rd house of communication, short distance travel, siblings. So you might enjoy talking about your interests and exchanging ideas with others. And so kind of keep that in mind as you're releasing something with your relationships. There is something more positive that is trying to start here in this Venus and Gemini energy. You could benefit through some sort of short distance trip or communication that comes in through a sibling. There's something here about, release what's not working and allow something more positive to come in. At the same time, when the sun is conjunct Jupiter, this is also, because it's Aries, it's all in the sign of Aries, this is going to impact your house of self. And so this is, if you think about confidence, you're kind of moving away from something in a relationship that's not working for you. You are starting to see some benefits from other things in your life. And at the same time, you're starting to gain confidence in yourself. You have this opportunity for your own personal growth and expansion. And so for Taurus and Taurus rising, so this Libra full moon is going to impact your 6th house. And so this 6th house, daily routines, this could be work, this could be fitness, health, diet, all of those things are part of the 6th house. And so there's something here within your daily routines that needs to change. It's something, maybe it's become too rigid, or maybe another area of your life has been adjusted and now you need to adjust your daily routines. There's something here that does need to change. It's just not working for you anymore. This could also indicate some sort of end of a health issue, or that would be very specific if that applied to you. But this would be something that just requires some sort of change on your part. A few days later, on the 11th, we do have Venus going into Gemini, and that's going to impact your 2nd house of personal finances. And so this would be something where any kind of communication, there could be some sort of communication with another person that has some sort of positive impact here on your finances, because it is Venus. So it is the things that you enjoy, the things that you value here. At the same time, Sun is conjunct Jupiter in Aries, and that's going to impact your 12th house. And so this would be, if you're thinking about like your personal finances, because it's going to be on the same day as that Sun conjunct Jupiter, anything, maybe it could be behind the scenes, and you're going to see some sort of increase in your personal finances from work that you do maybe behind the scenes. And then if you think back, this could be what you're opening yourself up to in your daily routines. You're releasing one thing to allow yourself to kind of grow a different area of your life that impacts your daily routine. More about the Jupiter in Aries, this could be an opportunity for spiritual growth, spiritual awareness. And Aries is telling you, take that first step. With Jupiter here, it's all about expansion. And so for Gemini and Gemini rising, so the Libra full moon is going to impact your 5th house. So 5th house being children, hobbies, passions, short-term romances, all of the fun things in life that we really truly enjoy. So this is the time to really understand what is it that you need to do in order to keep that balanced. maybe you haven't been spending enough time focused on your personal projects, your hobbies, your passions. What is it that you need to do to restore balance in that area of your life? Maybe you've been working too much and you haven't given your hobbies enough time. This would be something that you need to take care of during the full moon. Release that kind of energy, allow yourself to just feel more balanced by having that self-expressive, creative fun, just going after that type of energy, allowing yourself to do exactly what you want to do. This could also indicate any kind of project that you've been working on is going to come to a completion. So if you have been working on a hobby or something, like I'll just say writing a book as an example, this would be a time where you finally finish that last chapter. Maybe you make that final edit and you submit. And this is going to be one of those things where, you know, you're finally getting to this point where you're like, oh, now I'm getting the fruits of my labor. I'm seeing everything kind of the way that I want. I'm getting a lot of joy out of this. If you're in some sort of short-term romance, this could also indicate that you're going to have some sort of epiphany, one way or the other. You would have some sort of epiphany about the relationship and the direction that it's going to go, whether this is going to work for you, or is there something else that you need to do within this connection? Because remember, this is all during the Libra full moon. So it could be just letting go of something that's not working within the connection, or modifying something so that it does work going forward. When Venus moves into Gemini, this is going to impact your first house of self. I love this energy because it's beauty. It's everything that you value related to yourself. So this would be, maybe you're focused on your own personal physical well-being. This would be something where, like, you spend more time getting ready and feeling confident and just making sure that you step out of the house looking and feeling like your best self. That would be this type of energy. You're more likely to notice your own physical appearance because, again, this is going to be very focused on yourself right here. So this is really, really positive here. You're also going to be more aware of how others are perceiving you. I really like this because what it's doing is it's enhancing you as a person. And so it's allowing you to kind of grow in that way where you're going to really start to gain some confidence here. At the same time that Venus is in Gemini, the sun is going to conjunct Jupiter in Aries, and this is going to impact your 11th house. And so if I'm thinking about first house, 11th house, first house is you, and right now you're very focused on just your own personal attractiveness and how others perceive you. 11th house is your community around you. So these are your friends. These are maybe extended family members or people in your community. Thinking broad, these are the people that you would run into on a regular basis. So you might find all this confidence you're gaining with being focused on your physical appearance. Well, okay, well now I have that confidence to go and initiate some sort of networking kind of contact. Maybe it's attending some sort of networking event. You could be very supportive of your friends and family, and it's all coming from a place of feeling good about yourself. And when you feel good about yourself, it's really easy to project that energy out, and you start to kind of draw in more of that energy. And that's exactly what this is doing for you, Gemini. So moving on to Cancer and Cancer rising. So for Cancer and Cancer rising, this Libra full moon is going to impact your fourth house. And so fourth house is home. This is ancestors. This is really, if you're out of the spotlight and you're just kind of doing things on your own, that's what this fourth house represents. So this could be a time where maybe you're finishing up some sort of home project because, again, it's the full moon. This is the closing out of something. Or this could be maybe you're trying to find that balance between public life and personal life, where personal life, you just want to be behind the scenes. You don't necessarily want to interact with people. That's that fourth house energy. A few days later, we have Venus moving into Gemini, and that's going to impact your 12th house. So this could be something where maybe you have been keeping your relationship secret, like as an example, because the 12th house is very focused on behind the scenes. It's focused on, can be endings, but a lot of this more, I see it as more of like the hidden secrets, just those things that happen behind the scenes that you don't necessarily kind of broadcast out to anybody for one reason or another. So that would be what Venus is impacting here. You might find yourself, it's also because it is hidden, you might find yourself being more spiritual and just kind of relating to others in that way during this time. So if you have been feeling shy, this might help you overcome that shyness because Venus is going to really emphasize any kind of beauty or value that you would put out there. At the same time that Venus is in Gemini in your 12th house, We also have the Sun conjunct Jupiter in your 10th house. And so if you, from a career standpoint, have maybe been doing stuff behind the scenes, 10th house is saying, okay, maybe now is the time to actually do it to a broader audience. If you've been working on a project, now's the time to present that information. If you have been maybe, I'm just thinking through, like coming up with ideas on what you need to do, now's the time to express them here in this 10th house, because there is a connection here between what you've been doing behind the scenes and then career, and it's your public reputation within your career. And so this energy is very connected. You might even find some sort of expansion happening during this time in your career. Again, it does feel very connected to whatever's happening behind the scenes here. It could be some sort of promotion, just maybe recognition in some sort of way. But Aries is telling you to keep going. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is the initiator. And so the kind of overall message here is just keep going. And so for Leo and Leo rising, so the Libra full moon is going to impact your 3rd house. And this is going to be short distance travel, communication. It would be kind of early childhood education. Thinking through what you're trying to release, there might be some sort of trip that you need to take in order to kind of restore balance in your life. And it would be a short distance trip. This isn't going to be something that's far away. This could also indicate that you will receive some sort of communication that could clear up some sort of imbalance. And so there's a couple different avenues that could happen here that provide this opportunity for you to let go of something to allow something else to come in. Venus in Gemini is going to impact your 11th house when that moves into Gemini on the 11th. And so this would be time where maybe you form new relationships with people in your community, because that's what the 11th house represents. It's those people around you that aren't necessarily family. Maybe it's friends, maybe it's even bigger than that. This would be the community around you. Friendships are going to be highlighted at this time because they tend to be represented by the community here. And you might find that your friendships are becoming more deep, more meaningful. And that is going to come back down to maybe some sort of communication that happened here that allowed you to restore balance in an area of your life. And this could be leading towards that balance. We do have Sun conjunct Jupiter in Aries at the same time Venus goes into Gemini. So all of this energy is happening really close in time. Jupiter in Aries is going to impact your 9th house. And so 9th house is long distance travel. And so if we think full moon, you're releasing something possibly through short distance travel. Sun conjunct Jupiter in Aries is indicating, okay, you're going to have some sort of expansion related to long distance travel, or could be philosophy, education, like higher education. And so this is a really positive way of expanding yourself and expanding your beliefs. So you might be just feeling more optimistic about everything, more in tune with the big picture. Like you just kind of, things are starting to click into place and you kind of understand exactly how things are playing out and maybe why they're playing out. You're not really focused so much on the details. This is more big picture stuff. For Virgo and Virgo rising, so the Libra full moon is actually going to impact your 2nd house of personal finances. And so if this is a time where, because your personal finances are being highlighted, is there something here that you need to adjust? Maybe it's something along the lines of, like, I'll say retail therapy. Maybe this is a habit that you're trying to quit because it might feel good in the moment, but when you sit there and you look at your credit card statement, you're not happy with the way things are going. So you're trying to find this balance here between your personal finances and then what needs to change in order for you to feel balanced. Because right now, there's something here where you're not feeling balanced. If you consider all your relationships with others, how do you view money and material possessions here? Is there something that needs to be adjusted? Because that's also highlighted here within the 2nd house. And we think about Libra and the full moon. Libra, relationships, balance, harmony, full moon. What is it that you need to release? And it is about your finances. So maybe here it's, are you used to spoiling your partner? And maybe that needs to change. Or maybe you just need to scale it back. What here needs to be adjusted for you? Or is it maybe instead of showing somebody that you care through money, can you show them through affection? There's something along these lines that is going to be highlighted here for you. A few days later, Venus does move into Gemini, and that is going to impact your 10th house. And so 10th house being career and public reputation. So this would be Venus, beautiful, value, relationships, anything that you love, you just find beautiful in that way. So you could have social opportunities related to your career at this time. You might actually come across as just probably like trying to find the right way to say this. You might have some sort of work romance, or people just might find, you might find them drawn to you at this time. Those are the words I was looking for. They might be drawn to you at this time. So again, a work romance may also begin. That's not going to be true for everybody, but it is something where you're going to be in the spotlight when it comes to your career. And it's in a way that is very positive. People are going to look at you from a positive standpoint. At the same time that Venus is in Gemini, the sun is going to conjunct Jupiter in Aries, and that's going to impact your 8th house. So 10th house, 8th house. 10th house is your career and public reputation. 8th house is other people's money. It can be power and control. It can be any kind of intimacy issues, but if in connection with the 10th house, this is more likely if you work for somebody, if whoever your employer is, it would be the employer's money. So if you're thinking of yourself and you're seeing yourself in this positive light, Venus and Gemini, you're noticing people paying attention to you. At the same time, there's Jupiter, it's growth, it's expansion. There could be an opportunity for a raise or some sort of recognition here. Maybe it's a bonus, something along those lines. It's kind of centered around finances because it is connected to your career. And for Libra and Libra rising, so this full moon is going to impact your 1st house. Libra, this is all about you. And so what is it that you need to focus on? Self-love? What is it about yourself that you almost just need to forgive yourself, let something go, don't hold on to it? We do, right before this, we have Chiron in Aries that is also kind of along that same line. So this is really being emphasized for you here, Libra. So again, any insecurities, just release those. And then we have Venus moving into Gemini on the 11th. And so that's going to impact your 9th house. So Venus in Gemini, 9th house. 9th house is all about long distance travel. It is philosophy, religion, your belief systems. And so Venus in Gemini, this is going to be about anything that would expand your horizons, give you pleasure. Venus is all about pleasure. These are the things that you love. And so this is all going to be highlighted here. This could be a time where maybe you're generous in your relationships, or you could even be attracted to foreign people, foreign places. This is really kind of putting things in a different light for you, because it's almost like taking you from a heavy space where you're focused on yourself around this full moon and letting go and really forgiving yourself for something. And now kind of, it's almost like a childlike energy that you're moving towards, where you're allowing yourself to be more open and attractive and calling in something beautiful, really focused on that type of energy. Because at the same time, the sun is going to conjunct Jupiter in Aries. So Aries being your opposite sign, this is going to be your 7th house. Those are those one-to-one relationships. So this truly could be taking those first steps towards being in some sort of long-term relationship. Again, it could be somebody who is foreign, maybe somebody who is foreign for you, meaning like, could be somebody from the other side of the country. It could be somebody who is from a different background, raised in a different way, somebody who wouldn't have those same life experience as you, somebody that would not be from your hometown, if you think of it that way. This could also indicate any kind of relationships with others. So not just from like a romance standpoint, but this could also be a business standpoint. This, again, Jupiter is all about expansion. So this can be maybe taking a relationship to that next level, allowing it to become something that's very committed. But there's a lot of luck and a lot of positivity around this, because Jupiter is very optimistic and expansive and growth and lucky and just all the positive things. So Libra, that is your full moon and other energy. So I'm going to move on to Scorpio and Scorpio rising. And so for Scorpio, the Libra full moon is actually going to impact your 12th house. So this is 12th house, things that are hidden. This could be any kind of energy that you need to let go of. This could also indicate that you just need time to kind of take that step out of the public life, rest and recharge completely by yourself. Just allow yourself to really take that time. Maybe you have been out in the public for a long period of time. You've been doing a lot of things. Now's the time to take that step back. Allow yourself that time to rest and recharge. So bear with me. I am just going through all of my notes. Then we have here on the 11th, Venus moving into Gemini. This is going to impact your 8th house. So 8th house being other people's finances. This could be inheritance, power and control issues, any kind of intimacy is kind of related here. So intimate relationships would be intensified. So this would be the creation of a deeper union here. And so maybe that's part of the reason that you need to rest and recharge, is that you need that opportunity to really do things a little bit differently here, because that's what that full moon is telling us. You need that rest and recharge so that you can pivot and adjust the way that you're kind of going about things. We do have the sun conjunct Jupiter in Aries on the same day, and that's going to impact your 6th house. So 8th house and 6th house. We're talking about other people with 8th house. So again, intimacy feels very connected. 6th house, daily routines. So what is it about your 6th house that needs to be emphasized? So daily routines could be your work routine. This could be health and wellness routine. Anything, maybe it's being in service to others. There's something here where you're going to have an opportunity to maybe be of service to others and expand that area of your life. You could also start a new health and wellness program here and really take those first steps towards changing your routine. Jupiter is a very positive energy. So this is expansion, this is growth, this is really going after what you want. And so it's a really positive time to kind of start this type of project here. And again, if you think back to when the full moon hit, letting go of whatever was preventing you from kind of taking these first steps. And for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, so this Libra full moon is going to impact your 11th house. 11th house being your community, your friends, those kind of broader groups that you surround yourself with. So here, because you're not feeling very balanced in this area of your life, so you might have been focused on things that brought you pleasure, but here, when the full moon is transiting your 11th house, now you're starting to understand the role that you play in the lives of the people around you. There's something about this, and maybe it's just, there's something about kind of almost seeing things differently from a different perspective that allows you to kind of change direction and create that balance. This is a time of seeing those opportunities where you can make those changes, and those changes are going to be for the better, because maybe you just didn't realize the impact of your words on another person, group of people, or the actions that you took on a group of people. Like I'll just kind of say, like, Sagittarius are known for being impulsive and not necessarily the most reliable people. And maybe that's starting to create some sort of friction. This would be an opportunity to kind of see that and then make some adjustments here and get yourself into a better balance, because you feel better when people see you as reliable and not so impulsive, that type of energy. When Venus moves into Gemini, that is going to impact your 7th house. So that's going to happen on the 11th. And this will be a time of focusing on your one-to-one relationships and really deepening them. And so this one-to-one relationships would be romance. This could be business partnerships. These are those kind of just one-to-one specific interactions that you have. If you are single, this would be a time when you would be more willing to enter into some sort of committed relationship with another person, because one-to-one relationships here within a relationship standpoint are long-term, commitment, marriage, that type of energy. At the same time, Venus moves into Gemini and it's impacting your 7th house. The sun is conjunct Jupiter in Aries, and that's impacting your 5th house. So this is passions, hobbies, short-term romances. So short-term and long-term romances are being highlighted for you here. So this could be taking something from a 5th house to a 7th house, from a short-term romance and saying, you know what, I'm all in. I'm not going to just pretend that this is a short fling. Let's see where this can go. You're going to feel during this time very inspired to kind of go after exactly what it is that you want to do, because again, passions are being highlighted here. And so you could even take your passions or hobbies and turn them into a source of income around this time, because we do have Jupiter. Jupiter's very expansive. So if there is something here that you are trying to grow or you are trying to deepen, that would be another way of that happening, besides taking a 5th house relationship that's short term and growing it into a 7th house. And for Capricorn and Capricorn rising. And so the Libra full moon here is going to impact your 10th house. So I love this for you, because this is your 10th house of public reputation. So it's your career and public reputation. This is a time for diplomacy at work. This is a time where maybe a work project is getting completed, but there's something here. There's an ending and a beginning is definitely what I'm getting, but there is a balance that's about to be restored in your career. So if you have been feeling things have been really lopsided, just maybe not sitting that well with you, something is going to change here that is going to put that back into balance for you. And that's why I really love this energy. And I don't just say that as a Capricorn rising, although I do kind of love that too. So anyway, on the 11th, your Venus, when Venus goes into Gemini, this is going to impact your 6th house. So 6th house being your daily routines, work routines would be highlighted, any kind of health and wellness routines, so fitness routines, things like that. This is, again, about bringing harmony maybe to the workplace. If you think about something, 10th house, that wasn't working for you, that wasn't very balanced, now we're starting to release that, and we're allowing something beautiful to come in and take its place, something more balanced in your daily routine, which would be work, as part of that if you are still working. So this could be anything, like maybe it could be something as simple as tidying up your work area, or finding pleasure in other parts of your daily routine. Maybe there's something here with your daily routine that's changing, that you really enjoy doing, that's being highlighted. So from a 10th house, 6th house, this was the connection I was just trying to make. It could be that you've been working a lot. Maybe that's the imbalance that you need to let go of during the full moon. And as a result of that, now we have that Venus in Gemini impacting your daily routine. It could be now that you have more time to do this health and wellness routine that you want to do, or eat the way that you want to, because now you have time to prep your meals. It's that type of energy for you. We do have the Sun conjunct Jupiter on the same day. And so Sun conjunct Jupiter in Aries. This is going to impact your 4th house of home. So if we're looking at your career, you're letting go of something that's not balanced. Something is shifting here to put it back into balance. 6th house, you are going to do something that you want to do when it comes to your daily routine. And your 4th house is literally your home. This is where you are when you're not at work. And so Jupiter here, so there's a lot of expansion around this. This is a lot of optimism, a lot of positivity. Jupiter is one of the 2 benefic planets, and so there's a lot of positive energy around this. So any kind of home improvements that you're trying to do, anything that you're trying to improve, like from a family relationship, property, anything like that would be highlighted here in a positive way. And for Aquarius and Aquarius rising, and so the Libra full moon here is going to impact your 9th house. So 9th house is going to be long distance travel, higher education, philosophy, any kind of like your personal beliefs, ethics, all of those things. So if there's something that maybe you've been thinking about exploring, now would be the time. Maybe it's you've held yourself back, and that's part of this imbalance, is that you haven't really given yourself the opportunity to maybe go back to school or expand your beliefs or dig deeper into that bigger picture philosophy that you were interested in. This would be a time to correct that imbalance because it hasn't been balanced. This could also indicate some sort of long distance travel, or it could be a breakthrough where maybe in the other direction, maybe there is something here about your belief systems that just needs to change because it doesn't fit with what you feel is right anymore for you. And so that's what this full moon is here to do. Venus and Gemini is going to impact your 5th house. So 5th house being passions, hobbies, short-term relationships, just all of those things that you just enjoy doing, those fun things in life. And so Venus, beauty, love, things you value, the things that you enjoy. So this is a really great harmony of energies for you. So this could be a time where you do meet someone and begin some sort of new romance, or it could even just be a sexual connection. It doesn't have to be like a full-blown romance because this is 5th house. So 5th house is all about pleasure. Anything that you do from interacting with other people, if you find passion in that, that would be something that would be very positive, very pleasant for you during this time. This could be even about any kind of hobby that you would want to pursue. There's something really positive here about just that connection with something you love to do and something that you think is beautiful to do, that type of energy. At the same time, we do have the Sun conjunct Jupiter in Aries. And so this is going to impact your 3rd house. And so Jupiter in Aries, expansion, taking first steps. What is it that you're trying to do? So third house, communication, short distance travel, anything that maybe is connected to education and communication. So if you think back to your passions and your hobbies, is there something here that maybe you're starting to take a class, like it's an art class or it's an acting class, something along those lines? That would be some sort of education or communication that has a really positive spin on it right now, because Jupiter, it's all about optimism, it's growth, it's expansion, it's all the positive things. It's one of the most benefic planets. It's actually one of the 2 benefic planets. You are likely to have success when it comes to whatever education or communication that you're pursuing, and it looks like it would be in connection with whatever's happening in your 5th house. And for Pisces and Pisces rising, so this Libra full moon is going to impact your 8th house. So 8th house being other people's money. So this could be a partner's finances, this could be debt, this could be any kind of intimacy issues. These are the things that feel more highlighted to me than some of the other subjects that kind of pertain, like power and control issues, transformation. That type of energy is also 8th house energy. So there's something here that it really does feel like it needs to be adjusted. You've been feeling out of balance, you want balance restored. How do you make that happen? So this could be paying off a debt. Maybe you're finally paying off, making that last student loan payment, or maybe it's just paying off a bank loan, whatever it is, something along those lines. You could also be trying to find that right balance between your personal finances and other finances. So there's something imbalanced maybe when it comes to money, and it would be in the form of maybe debt. That one feels more applicable than some of the other subjects. A few days later, Venus in Gemini will impact your 4th house, and so 4th house home. So if you think about 8th house could be a second mortgage on the home, and so maybe you're paying off a second mortgage on the home, or maybe this is something where you want to do something beautiful with your home, and maybe that's part of this full moon energy, is doing something with an outside loan or a home equity line of credit. Venus in Gemini, Venus being love, beauty, all the things you value and cherish. 4th house being literally your house of home. And so you could be just really fond of your home life and family at this time. Maybe it is as a result of paying off this debt. You just kind of feel that weight lifted off your shoulder, and now you can enjoy your home life a little bit more. You may find just something within your home, the value, the aesthetics, there's something about your home that's very pleasing to you during this time. And actually, we do have the Sun conjunct Jupiter in Aries. So this does indicate some sort of increase in profits or earnings, because of it's going to impact your 2nd house. So what's happening with the full moon is you're resolving something with somebody else's money. And what that's doing is allowing you to actually have more money yourself. So this does feel more like you're going to be paying off a debt. And by the time we get to the 11th, it feels like you're going to have more personal financial money. So more money in your bank accounts. This, you could be using this to buy things that you value for your home, because Venus in Gemini is going to impact your house. So paying off that debt allowed you to actually purchase something for your home that you really wanted, something that you really would value in the long run. And so with Jupiter, there's a lot of positivity around this. This is all about growth, expansion. So you could literally be buying more items for your home. This would be just growing your personal possessions. And so that is the forecast for all 12 signs. In the next, I'm going to talk about our solar eclipse. So we are going to have a solar eclipse in Aries, and I will dig into more about that and all the energies and how that's going to impact everybody. There's going to be a little bit too, because this is actually a north node. So I'll get into a little bit of that the next time that I record this video. So thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.